It is O-Level Chemistry 5070, Paper 1, Variant 1, May-June 18. And today we are going to solve question from 21 to 30. From 1 to 20 we have already solved, and from 31 to 40 we will solve in the next session. Question number 21. Nitrogen reacts with oxygen in an equilibrium reaction. Here we have balance equation. Nitrogen is reacted with oxygen to get nitrogen oxide, and this reaction is endothermic. Here delta H is given plus 170 kJ per mole. When the reaction is at equilibrium, which statement is correct? Option A, the concentration of nitrogen present will change with time. Here it is given the reaction is in equilibrium. It is at equilibrium. Since the reaction is at equilibrium, so the concentration will not change. It will remain same. So option A is not possible. Option B, the forward and the backward reactions are taking place at the same rate. Yes, it is the correct one. Forward and backward reactions are taking place at the same rate, because here it is given it is a reversible reaction and it is at equilibrium. So forward and backward reactions are taking place at the same rate. So this option is correct one. What is given in C and D? In option C, the forward reaction releases heat energy. No, here it is endothermic reaction, so it will not release, it will absorb heat energy. So this option incorrect. Option D, there are more molecules on the left hand side of the equation than on the right. Here in the balance equation, number of moles on the left hand side is equal to number of moles on the right hand side. Here 1 mole of nitrogen reacts with 1 mole of oxygen, means here total number of moles are 2. Here on the product side, nitrogen oxide form is 2 moles. So before the reaction 2 moles, after the reaction 2 moles. Since the number of moles are same on left and right hand side, so number of molecules will also be same on left and right hand side. It will not be different. So option D is also incorrect. Here our correct option is option B. The forward and backward reactions are taking place at the same rate. Question number 22. A solution of W has the following properties. When added in excess to sodium, when added in excess to solid ammonium chloride, a gas is given off that turns damp red litmus paper blue. It turns damp red litmus paper blue, so it should be an alkali, it should be a base. Now in the second point it is given when added in aqueous to a solution of pH3. pH3 means it is an acidic solution, because in acids the pH value is less than 7 and in alkali, in bases, the pH value is more than 7. So here pH value is given 3, so it is a strong acid. The resulting solution has a pH of 13. When we add this W to this solution that is an acidic solution, we get a solution whose pH is 13, means it is a strong base. So the W, the value that is reacted with this strong acid, should be a strong base, and a strong base is given in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 23. Pure lead sulfate is prepared by mixing two substances X and Y. When the reaction is complete, the mixture is filtered. Pure lead sulfate is obtained. Here it is given lead sulfate is prepared by mixing two substances X and Y, means these two substances should be soluble in water. When the reaction is complete, the mixture is filtered. Pure lead sulfate is obtained. Lead sulfate is formed here as a residue. Now we will check the option. Which row shows the best way to prepare pure lead sulfate? In option A, substance X is given aqueous lead nitrate. In A and B, it is given aqueous lead nitrate. In C and D, it is given lead carbonate. Lead carbonate is insoluble in water, so our possible options are A and B only. Now for the substance Y, it is given aqueous sodium sulfate. in A and also in B it is given aqueous sodium sulfate. Aqueous sodium sulfate is soluble in water. So here our possible options are A and B. Now here method after filtration it is given crystallize the filtrate. Here we have to get pure lead sulfate. Lead sulfate is as a residue. Just what we have to do, we have to wash this one and we have to dry. We will get the pure lead sulfate. Wash and dry the residue is given in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 24. What are the percentages by mass of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate and in calcium nitrate? Here we have to find out the percentage of nitrogen in compound, this one ammonium nitrate, and in calcium nitrate. First we have to calculate the molecular mass of ammonium nitrate and molecular mass of calcium nitrate. Molecular mass of ammonium nitrate is 80 and molecular mass of calcium nitrate is 164. Now in order to find the percentage of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate, we have to divide the total mass of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate by molecular mass of ammonium nitrate and multiply by 100. Now in ammonium nitrate, number of atoms of nitrogen are 2. For one atom, atomic weight, atomic mass is 14. So total mass of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate will be 28. So we have to divide 28 by molecular mass of ammonium nitrate, that is 80, and multiply by 100 to get the answer in percentage. So the answer we got is 35%. In the same way, we have calculated the percentage of nitrogen in calcium nitrate. Here again, total number of atoms of nitrogen is 2. So mass of nitrogen in calcium nitrate is 28 and molecular mass of calcium nitrate is 164. So we have to divide 28 by 164 and multiply by 100 and we got the answer 17%. So nitrogen in ammonium nitrate is 35% and nitrogen in calcium nitrate is 17%, that is given in option D. So correct option is option D. Question number 25. The diagram shows 3 steps in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. Sulfur reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Then sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. Now here sulfur trioxide is converted to sulfuric acid. In which step the catalyst is used? Catalyst is used when we have to react sulfur dioxide with oxygen to get sulfur trioxide. And here we use a catalyst and the name of the catalyst is vanadium pentaoxide. So catalyst is used only in one step, in the step Q. So here correct option is option C. Question number 26. Which statement about the element in the periodic table is correct? Option A. An atom of potassium has more protons than an atom of argon. Yes, it is correct. Here we have argon. Here it is argon and here we have potassium. Argon, for argon atomic number is 18. For potassium atomic number is 19, means potassium has more proton or electron as compared to argon. So here an atom of potassium has more proton than an atom of argon. So this one is correct. Option B. Elements in the same period have similar chemical properties. No, the elements in the same group have similar chemical properties, not in the same period. Option C. Elements that are non-metals form only covalent bonds with other elements. No, it is incorrect. Metals and non-metals both can react to form a covalent bond. Option D. On descending group 1 from lithium to cesium, the metal become less reactive. No, when we move down the group, the reactivity increases. It does not decrease. So this option is also incorrect. So here correct option is option A. Question number 27. The position of 4 elements are shown on the outline of part of the periodic table. Which element is a solid non-metal at room temperature pressure? Here A. A is member of 3A group and it should be aluminum. Yes, it is aluminum. Aluminum is solid, but it is metal. It is not non-metal. We have to find out the solid that is non-metal. Now here this B, it is member of 6A group, it is oxygen, it is gas. Here it is member of 7A group, it is chlorine and chlorine is a gas. Here this D, D should be iodine and iodine is solid. Here in the 7 group, yes, it is iodine and iodine is solid at room temperature and pressure and it is also non-metal. So our correct option is option D. Question number 28. What is not a typical property of transition element? Option A, they form colored compound. They form colored compound. It is not a typical property. It is a property. So it is not the option. Option B, they have high melting point. Yes, they have high melting point. Option C, they have low densities. No, they have high densities. So our correct option is option C because it is asked here what is not a typical property. So in the option C, they have low densities is not a typical property of a transition element. So correct option, option C. In option D, it is given they have variable oxidation state. Yes, it is also correct. So our correct option is option C. Question number 29. Brass is an alloy. Which statement about brass is correct? Option A. It contains a sea of electrons. Yes, it is correct one. Brass is an alloy. Alloy means it is mixture of two metals. And in metals we have free electrons. We have sea of electrons. So this option is correct one. In option B, it is given it contains positive and negative ions which are free to move. No, it has positive ions but not negative ions. It has electrons. So here it is given negative ion. It is incorrect. It should be electron. So option B is incorrect. And second thing is given which are free to move. Positive ions are not free to move. Only electrons are free to move. Now option C, it is a compound of a metal and a non-metal. No, it is a mixture of two metals. So this option also incorrect. Option D, it is a compound of two or more metals. No, it is a mixture. It is not a compound. So our correct option is option A. Question number 30. Which statement about the reactions of some metals and metal compound is correct? Option A, copper reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to form hydrogen. No, copper cannot react with hydrogen. Copper cannot replace hydrogen because copper is less reactive than hydrogen. Here we have reactivity series. It is hydrogen, it is copper. Copper is less reactive than hydrogen, so copper cannot replace hydrogen. Option B, sodium oxide is reduced to sodium metal by heating with carbon. Sodium oxide is reduced. Here, for the extraction of aluminum, we use method of electrolysis, and below aluminum for the iron, for the extraction of iron, we use carbon. We heat with carbon. Now, if we move above aluminum, we should go for the electrolysis, not to heat with carbon. So here it is given sodium oxide is reduced to sodium metal by heating with carbon. So it is incorrect. We have to go for the electrolysis to get sodium metal. Option C, zinc carbonate is more thermally stable than sodium carbonate. In reactivity series, sodium is more reactive than zinc. So we have to provide more heat to break this sodium carbonate as compared to zinc carbonate. So zinc carbonate is not more thermally stable, it is less thermally stable than sodium carbonate. So this option is also incorrect. Option D, Zinc displaces copper from aqueous copper sulfate. Yes, it is the correct option. Zinc is more reactive than copper. Here we have zinc and here we have copper. Zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc can replace copper from the copper sulfate solution. So this option is correct option. Okay, now we have completed up to question number 30. From 31 to 40, we will solve in the next session. Thank you very much.